Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another truck video for you. I'm excited. Real quick, we were talking about our channel. It's a family channel. It started out that way, and then I've been tinkering on vehicles most of my life, so this content ends up in our family channel. And there's that whole question of like, well, should we split the two channels apart and just have a dedicated family thing and then a dedicated sort of automotive channel? And we don't know, but I think what we're gonna do for now is just keep the two combined and then just put these videos in a playlist or whatever. So if you subscribe, which I know you're gonna because you love to help out, just know you're gonna see some family stuff from time to time and you can ignore it if you want. I'm really excited for today's video. Basically, I'm fixing a bunch of mistakes when it comes to this E-fan conversion that a lot of us like to do on these old Chevy trucks. So quick story time to give you kind of the background on this. I caught on to the whole E-fan conversion. I love the thought of better cooling and then additional power by subtracting that clutch fan. So I didn't make a video about it, but I just sort of slapped it together. I bought a used fan assembly and a used factory harness off of eBay and threw them in, wired it up according to the instructions I found on the internet and the instructions that came with the harness from eBay. And then I took it to a tuner and had him tune it. Everything seemed to be working. And then like a month later, I'm hearing like the alternators whining, and then one of the ground wires melted off, and then I could only see one fan turning, and everything just started going wrong. And obviously something screwed up. I've come to find out I've made a number of mistakes and I'm gonna correct them today. So let's go over to the parts table. We'll start with the fans real quick. Turns out instead of buying a used set of fans off of eBay for 100 bucks, I think is what I paid for them or something like that, I paid $117 for a brand new set off of Rock Auto. Why not get the new stuff? Additionally, you can put fans from an 05 to a 2013 GM, and I started thinking like, wait a second, I bet they put some nicer fans on the Escalade. So I poked over to a 2013 Escalade page, and sure enough, they have these fans with 2 additional blades on each side. So the low side I think has 7 blades, and then the high side has 9. And then most of these fans you can see the metal part of the motor sitting there, and this one has this plastic covering, which probably makes them way quieter. So more blades and this plastic covering is probably a premium set of fans compared to what most guys are throwing in their trucks. Most of you might not care, but I'm all about quiet and what's that word? No, there's another word. Whatever. I just love the idea of having extra quiet, extra smooth fans, because the noise to me is a little bit bothersome, and this just might take care of that. Next, I have the 105 amp alternator, and I guess I just didn't do enough research. The performance shop I took it to tune it didn't bother to let me know, but you got to have a 145 amp alternator or bigger to run these E-fans. Otherwise your electrical is just going to be all screwed up. So I got this off of Rock Auto as well. It is the AC Delco, and it was like 170 bucks. Or I could have bought it from the dealer in town for like $418 or something crazy. But I'm really excited to get the proper power flowing in the truck with that. And then I went to BP Automotive and got their harness. And I initially looked at this when I was considering the E-fans, but it didn't seem robust enough or like it would be factory enough for what I was looking for. Turns out it's better than factory. If you do the research on these things, there's a couple videos out there of guys that have put them in, but this harness is built for guys doing the same project, and it's just set up so well. The directions are very clear, and it even comes with instructions on how to tune the fans, which I don't have it out here, but I went ahead and purchased HP tuners. I got the dongle. So the backstory on purchasing this is when I got the harness ordered and looked through the instructions online, it showed the settings that need to be in place in HP tuners to run the fans properly. And I sent a message to my tuner and said, hey, would you mind sending me screenshots of what you put in for these two screens? And he ghosted me. And then I called him and said, hey, I'm putting a new harness in, because obviously I need one, and I need to know that these settings are correct. And he just went, oh yeah, they're good, man. Everything's right. And I'm like, well, can you send me screenshots just so I can cross-reference? He's like, what are you concerned about, man? And he basically blew me off. So I was very irritated by that and decided, you know what, I'm gonna just do it myself. So I bought the MPVI3, and then 2 credits is what you need for these GM trucks. So it was like $500, and I plugged it in and I went to those 2 screens, and sure enough, all the settings are different than what BP Automotive says you need to have in there to properly run the E-fans. So it's one of those things of like, you know what, you live and learn. Those guys probably didn't help me out. I don't know if they're responsible for all the stuff that's gone wrong with these things, but at any rate, obviously it's better to just take matters into your own hands. It's gonna cost a little bit of money, but what I'm excited about is that I know they're gonna be set right, and I can start down that road of learning how to tune the truck properly, check my own codes, and just comes with a bunch of other lasting benefits if you just decide to spend the money and get this yourself. Since I'm gonna be pulling this off, I figured I might as well change out my tensioners and idler pulley and all that. New belts. This is real cheap stuff that since we're in there, we might as well get it updated. And what's not here right now, because I don't know, maybe the Amazon driver took too long of a dinner break yesterday, but I ordered stuff to do the big 3 upgrade, which there's a lot of videos on this, but essentially I can show you right here. These wires coming from your battery, this wire going to your alternator, all get updated with 0 gauge wiring so that all the power can just flow naturally and efficiently. So from what I've heard, it can really clean up your electrical and make it run a lot better. Some guys even claimed that they got better throttle response when they did the big 3 upgrade, so that'll be interesting to see. With that, hopefully the wires get delivered here soon so we can get all this done, but I say we get started. Okay, so pretty easy to get the old fan out, pop the new alternator on there. These bolts, I guess you just sort of get them snug down. 2 new pulleys, the idle pulley and the tensioner pulley. Those pop on there real easy. 35 foot-pounds for the torque spec on those. And then I got the old harness out, and I should note that I had previously already purchased and installed the AC pressure transducer from BP Automotive, which is located right down here. Now you can't see it. You see that? It's a Schrader valve, so you just pop it off, screw that one on. I had it wired over here, and it's already pinned in there. But I am gonna just verify they're in the right pins and all that. BP Automotive said, if you're gonna get their harness, you're gonna have to get that, because it just all kind of works together. But let me show you the harness. So pretty simple setup. You can tell it's just really high quality materials and construction, all that, but you've got your relays that goes down. You've got ground power of what do you call that again? A fuse that you just screw to your fuse box cover. Once you put these pins in the proper locations, you have a plug that you just plug in right there, and then you plug in your fans. To me, man, it doesn't get any easier than that. They did such a good job of making this plug and play. Some nice hardware for attaching your wires. This is for your battery, so you have room to attach it properly, and yeah, it's just really cool product for a great price. I think it was 150 bucks. Let's start getting this thing in there. Okay, so that took a couple hours. Not too bad, pretty easy. I think there was a couple of tedious parts that just took a little bit of time, but really didn't run into any issues. And I'm ready to start this thing up. I'm gonna start it and turn on the AC and just kind of see if they run. Obviously the Amazon guy didn't deliver the 0 gauge wiring I was hoping for, so we'll just do that another day. Pretty sure it's gonna run just fine on this. So let's do it. What is it doing? We'll be right back after these sponsored messages. Okay, so when I was doing the HP tuner setup, I got to this page that says in big red letters, only change this one thing. Everything else leave it the same. But it has stuff in here. And I looked on mine, I'm like, well, mine's different. So do I leave what's in there? Because maybe that's stock, or do I go with this? So I emailed support and they just replied and said, hey, no, you should have this in there. And it's one more thing that the tuner here in town messed with. So I just corrected it to what it should be, and hopefully that did the trick. Let's see. I think I hear fins, barely. Yeah, fans running. And it is whisper quiet. Isn't that crazy? You can barely hear the fan. The other ones I had on there, it was like super loud, and this is just like, are they working? Both sides are running now, and I can barely hear it. All right. The AC is blowing ice cold, so yeah, we're good. So if you're gonna do the E-fan conversion, highly recommend the 2013 Escalade E-fans off of Rock Auto, 145 amp AC Delco alternator, and the wiring harness from BP Automotive. Obviously $500 to tune it myself is a really expensive way to go about it, but I am gonna sleep so much better at night knowing that some guy didn't screw it up and then try to lie to me about it later. That said, we'll do the Big 3 upgrade in a future video. I think that's just gonna make it even better. All said and done, let's see, 150, we'll call it, I mean, less than $500 for the fans, alternator, wiring harness, and then another $500 if you want to get HP tuners going. Not too bad. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Love to engage with you guys about this stuff on the channel. I will leave part numbers below. We'll see you on another one soon.